weekly yes/no reading. So you are bringing questions here that you want yes/no answers to, a few guidelines before we jump in, just so things are more specific and clear for you and for how I read. Phrase your question so that if you were to get a yes, that is the outcome you are hoping for. That's very important in terms of not feeling confused after the reading. The other thing to keep in mind is, well, never mind. We'll keep it simple. Just phrase your question so that if you were to get a yes, that's what you're hoping for. Okay, we have 4 piles today to choose from. Pile 1 is an aqua calcite. Pile 2 is blue orca agate. Pile 3 is opalite. And pile 4, we have aquamarine. Okay, so feel free to pause here. I'll take my hands out in just a minute. Feel free to pause here if you need some time to really hone in on the piles, feel into which pile is drawing you in, meaning that has your aligned answer. If you have more than one question, I would suggest kind of doing one at a time, like really honing in on the piles for your one question, going to that reading, and then coming back to the intro and starting over for the second question. Okay, once you have your pile selected, timestamps are in the descriptions, and I will see you in your readings. Hello, pile 1. Welcome to your yes, no, maybe answers. Trying to stay away from maybes, trying to get more clear yes, no's for you guys, but every once in a while those do come up. Okay, so you guys picked the green calcite, which we will put over to the side here. So to start the reading, we are going to do some tarot cards to get your yes, no, maybe. And following up, once we get your answer, I'm going to do some oracle cards for some things that Spirit wants you to know about your answer. So if it's a yes, it's maybe we'll give some insight into, I don't know, some positive things to align with going forward. If it's a no, it might be showing what's going on in the background. I'm going to kind of leave those oracles open, but just some ideas of why, how those oracle readings might come up. That card does not want to flip back over. Okay, so we're going to get 4 to 5 tarot. We're going to see what fits in the screen. And then I will draw all of them and then sort of feel into how the cards are speaking to a yes, no. Do we think we can fit a 5th? We might have to stick with 4, but hold on one second. I'd really like a 5th card. I'm feeling the need for a 5th card here. Maybe we can change those layouts. Yeah, that should give us space. Okay. Definitely without even looking at the cards, just that need to kind of rearrange the reading to make room for everything. There may be some stuff that's still kind of reorienting around your question. Things are still kind of clicking in, like things are unfolding still maybe. Okay, so we've got 3 of earth, 6 of fire, 8 of water, 6 of water, Queen of water. I mean, I can't help but notice the 8 of water, which is like central in the reading. Next to the 6 of water, like you're walking away from something from your past, or unraveling from something from your past. I feel like you feel good. I feel like maybe you're already doing the walking away and you feel good about that. And then the 3 of earth and 6 of fire is sort of like your I don't know, you're constructing something. I do get the energy that this is past energy. Like something you've already been through, something you're feeling. Like maybe you're still feeling some grief and nostalgia, like a mix of grief and nostalgia around something that you've had to sort of leave behind. But I think you understand, you're sort of clear and emotionally settled about it, even though you're just like holding space for it. It's like, I'm clear, I'm settled, I get that I need to move forward. That doesn't mean I can't still have and feel some nostalgia and grief mingled in there. And that feels like it's underlying something in your actual question, which is like constructing some sort of like winning plan. I don't know if you're like making plans for something, but it feels positive. It feels like what you're walking toward. So there's something you've walked away from, but what you're walking toward feels like this, like winning plans. We can always make plans and hope that they lead us towards success, but with the 3 of earth, it is showing like you're being very pragmatic. And you may not, this is just sort of the metaphor that's coming to me. It may not have to do with like plans you're making, but there's some kind of energy in here of like the way you're constructing something or thinking about something or planning something, or the way you did do that does have winning energy around it. So I am feeling a yes here. The only example of a question that would be a no, because I do like to leave these a little bit dynamic. There's a lot of questions brought here, and sometimes I do see loopholes. If you're asking about something that you're like grasping to keep hold of, to keep the same, to take it back to where it used to be, like longing for something to be how it used to be, your answer is a no. Anything else is a yes. And even if you get the no, they're saying like there is something in front of you need to look at, that you have a lot of great, like a lot of possibility and a lot of fortuitous energy around. Okay, so let's do some oracle cards to get a little more context of what Spirit wants you guys to know. So for the majority of you, a yes. You'll know for you if it's a no, if this, if what I was talking about with like walking away from something feels like your question, more related to your question, like you're trying to make something the way it used to be or keep something the way it used to be. It's time to let go of that. So you'll know if that's you, and that is a no. The rest of you is a yes. So let's see what the oracle cards have to say. Some more insight. What kind of information does Spirit want to give you? Turquoise and forget-me-not. Balance, cracking open, deep healing, balancing karma. Yeah, I feel that with the Queen of Water, it felt like very, like she feels like she's really tapped into some healing. And this is like, what Spirit wants you to feel. Some of you may feel this way. If you got the yes, you may be feeling this way, like more balance. Some deep healing has taken place, maybe some karma dispelled. If you were one of the few people potentially that got a no, this is how Spirit wants you to feel, kind of moved on, centered, balanced, surrendered a bit. Okay, let's get an animal message. Field mouse with success. Yeah, it's like look forward. So for the majority of you, what you're looking forward to, how you're thinking about something, planning something, believe in yourself, dare to dream big is what it says. Okay, and then let's get a healing water oracle, the ripple effect, which is interesting. That came out in one of my Wednesday readings too. Or in the past Wednesday, this card came out. Part of something bigger, details are taken care of. This does confirm for me that for the majority, I would say almost, there may be like 1 or 2 people that got the no, but I feel like most of you, something you've asked about, some ripple effect is involved, and you're just going to, like, something's just going to unfold because you were in the right place at the right time, or you're in the right vibration, or the right state of mind, something like that. But you're seeing, it feels like with this success, believing in yourself and the healing, it's sort of like that preparation meeting opportunity kind of thing, and this ripple effect being some kind of luck for you. So really positive read for the majority of you. I'm just going to leave you with a goddess card, a little goddess card message in general to take with you. Uzume, humor. Yeah, lightening up, positive attitude, believing in yourself. I do feel this thing of like moving forward though, and looking for that some current is about to pick you up or just has. So even if you got a no, there's something that is happening, that is a success, that is, you're being picked up by some current regarding something that's more forward looking versus backward looking. Okay, so that is, you guys, pretty much a yes here. You know if you got a no, but pretty much I would say the vibe I get is like pretty much a yes for everyone. Okay, I hope this resonated. If so, I always appreciate support with likes, shares, subscribes. Always grateful for kind and thoughtful comments. But just being here is supporting my channel, so I appreciate that. And I hope to see you in future readings. Have a beautiful day wherever and whenever you are. Hello, beautiful pile 2. Welcome to your yes, no, maybe reading. You guys picked the blue orca agate, which I'm just going to put to the side. And we are going to first do some tarot cards to get your yes, no, maybe, and then we'll do some oracle cards to get some messages that Spirit wants you to know about your answer. Okay, we've got Wheel of Fortune. So I'm going to try and get 5 cards out, and then I will dive into them. 5 of Fire. The Empress. Six of Earth. And then one more. 5 of Earth, very interesting. So overall, really positive cards here. It feels like a change of season is coming, a different chapter is about to come in. One where it's interesting, this 6 moving to 5. I need to fill into that for a minute. But then you have like Empress on top, before both of those. Well, the 5 of Earth could be tapping into this change because 5 has to do with change. So I am sort of linking these two, maybe the bookend here, the 2 bookends. a change of season, and literally around Earth. That's how I am feeling the need to read the Five of Earth energy in this particular card, as like these two cards, Wheel of Fortune and Five of Earth, kind of showcasing what the change is with the cards that are between them. But the Five of Earth speaking to sort of the element that's about to change, where that shift, that chapter shift or season shift is coming, having to do with the material realm, whether it's body, finances, physical environments, possessions you already own. Something in that realm is shifting. And it looks like a really positive shift for what's in between these cards. We've got Five of Fire, Empress, and Six of Earth. So the Empress and Six of Earth picking up on that material or 3D energy, whether it's sort of, body, finances, possessions. A lot of fertility here, a lot of exchanging, a lot of support coming in that. And I don't know if that kind of boost in, it does feel like more financial security or like just like better foundations, I guess I'll say. I don't want to get too, with this being a yes, no, so there could be so many questions here. I don't want to get too specific. It feels like better foundations. With there being better foundations, something more creative is coming out of you. The way you're willing to shine or be seen is feeling a little bit more in its element here. And I would say I like to think a little more dynamically with my yes no's, and it sometimes is hard for me to get like everyone gets a yes or everyone gets a no, just because of like the energies and the story that's playing out. So kind of similar to what happened in pile one, there's, for the most part, and like I wouldn't say for the most part, for most people that came here, there's a yes. There are specific things that you could have asked that would get a no, and those specific things, just like pile one, have to do with trying to hold on to how things have been or were. Holding on to the past is a no here. Something is changing. So if you asked about something that's future oriented or a hope or a dream, anything else, anything beyond trying to hold on to something from the past is a yes. Any questions about holding on to the past is a no here. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this is coming out when this is published, and it's timeless, so you could come to this at any time. But when it's published, we will be in eclipse season, and that does bring shifts, that brings endings and beginnings. So I feel like, if you have something where you're trying to hold on to the past, it's just, that eclipse energy, whenever you come here, it doesn't matter, but that's the energy that is around the energy of this reading, is like something is done. Something's over, something's done. It's time to move on to better, brighter, more fertile. So even if you are one of the few people that gets a no due to the kind of question you brought here, there is a silver lining that's saying there's like closing on the door on what you asked is taking you to much more fertile territory. For the rest of you and the majority of you that get a yes here, this is just like a really beautiful indicator that a lot of fertility is ahead. These are great foundations around your question. Okay, let's do a few oracle cards for any messages Spirit wants to bring you. Sanctuary of Light, Portal, 5D, Healing Temple, Astral Travel. And immediately when I saw Portal, it was like eclipse to me. This is eclipse season. Things are shifting. Frequencies are shifting. Redirects are happening. Pivots are happening. And, even when there can be disappointments with eclipses because they can bring endings, they're always trying to align us with what's best for us. They're always trying to direct us to more aligned energy. And so that is what I'm feeling overall for this pile. And we've got Flamingo, Unity Heart. You are being called to work on collective healing. I'm trying to think. So I think it's going to be the Libra full moon lunar eclipse closest to when this publishes. Which is very relational. So some of what you're moving toward, where you're moving toward fertility, no matter your answer, just like some beautiful communal stuff is about to happen is what that feels like. More resonance with others. Somehow you're being directed towards more resonance with others. Okay. Ride the waves. Life lessons and growth. You will get through this. Yeah, I mean, just again, tapping into eclipse season. It is just like you kind of have to surrender into, there's energies within. I speak a lot in astrological language because that's kind of my terrain. So I have a whole language around it and framework around it. But when you're looking at astrology, there are absolutely times that are great for self-determination, for free will, for making intentions, pushing, reaching, working hard. Just like a more self-determined energy. And then there's times and transits where that call for more sort of divine direction and just needing to kind of surrender into where life is taking you. And there is that energy around this question. Whatever you've asked, and no matter if you feel like you got a yes or no from what we talked about earlier, there is just something, there's like a current that's already in motion. And it's just like surrender into that. It's going to take you where you need to go. And the more you try and fight against that, the harder it will be to get through this shifting time, this change of season. But the more you just kind of like ride the current that picks you up, the easier and nicer and like more refreshing the feel will be. Okay, last card, we're going to get a goddess message for you guys. Lazy revelation. I love that. Yeah, I mean, that absolutely picks up again. I don't know why this is coming through so strong in your reading, but it's just like such eclipse energy. You are going to be taken to much more fertile terrain. You may be having revelations around this. Even those of you that got a yes to your question, there may still be revelations yet to come. Like not fully understanding the full magnitude of what you've asked quite yet, but I think in a positive way. And it's always nice. Like my opinion is like revelations are always powerful and often very. I mean, I guess they don't have to be positive, but I feel them as positive here. Like confirming. Okay, so that is your reading pile 2. Just to clarify, pretty much a yes for everyone. The only people that get a no here are those trying to hold on to something being the way it has been for some, was or has been, really trying to hold on to the past. that's a no. Everything else is a yes, and really beautiful energy around it. A lot of fertility, a lot of really great foundations here. Okay, this is where I'm going to leave you guys. If this resonated, I always appreciate support, likes, shares, subscribes. Always grateful for kind and thoughtful comments, but also just grateful that you are here. That in itself is very supportive. I appreciate you letting me read for you because I love doing it, and love when it is helpful and insightful for those of you that come here. So yeah, good luck with whatever you've asked about, and I wish you a very beautiful day wherever and whenever you are. Hello, Pile 3. Welcome to your Yes, No, Maybe Friday Insight. You guys picked this beautiful opalite, which I am just going to put to the side here. So we are first going to do some tarot cards to tease out your yes, no, maybe, and then we will do some oracle cards to get any advice and insight that Spirit wants to bring forward once we have your answer. So far the readings have been interesting. Well, I'm not going to pull in the energy of the other readings. We're just going to see where your reading goes, but there has been a thread. Okay, 5 of Water, the Emperor, oops, 10 of Fire, 5 of Air. The cards are getting real messy for me here, at least for my typical. I always pay attention to that kind of thing in the Ace of Earth. There's absolutely an ending and a beginning here. This is the thread, and I wanted to just kind of clear out what that common thread was in pile 1 and 2 to see, give your reading space to be its own thing, but it like immediately was like ending, beginning. 5 of Water is walking away from something. The Emperor is Aries energy, which is always connected with like beginnings. So immediately it was like, here we go again, ending and beginning. I do feel with the, there are 2 5s here, a lot of change coming through emotionally and mentally, which may mean there could be some turbulence for you, which makes sense because for in relation to my general energy with the cards, things were feeling a little chaotic. So that makes sense. There's like some turbulence with like the mental field. To me is like the most tumultuous one. It's the easiest to stir up. And if that one's really stirred up, it then can really affect our emotional field to be a little bit more tumultuous as well. So I think there is a little bit of like, you may already be sensing something's changing, or you may even be craving a change. But there is restless energy. There is a little bit of tumultuous energy here, and definitely a sense of change coming through. And then you have the Emperor, which we already talked about as being connected in a way because of its Aries connection to new beginnings. And then you have an Ace, which is also new beginnings. And then we have 10 of Fire here, and the 10s in tarot kind of hold that energy of like the end of the road, coming into a paradigm shift. You may be in a little bit of a liminal space right now between here and there. Something around your question may feel like it's between here and there, kind of in no man's land. And the 10 of Fire to me also holds a lot of energy of having the strength to hold our purpose, but also recognizing a lot of times that our purpose isn't always glory filled. A lot of times it's more duty than glory. And I think a recognition coming through here around that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say. This is really bizarre, but I almost want to give the same kind of answer as I gave piles 1 and 2. I definitely feel a different energy in you guys in your question. I do feel a little more just unsettled energy. So how this answer and how I answered 1 and 2, and I'm sorry if I'm doing a spoiler, but it's just like this thread that's so strong. And I would add to that this is being, it's a timeless reading, so you may come here at a completely different time than when this is published. But when this reading is published, it always holds a certain energy. And so if you come at a different time, you're still drawn to that energy for a reason. But back to the core of what I'm saying is when this reading is going to be published, we are going to have stepped into eclipse season. And that always comes with frequency shifts, endings and beginnings, pivots, that kind of thing. And my sense for you guys is like you may already sense that and kind of be like a little ahead of the curve and kind of like, yeah, like I'm ready for change here. You may be sitting in a little bit of grief, but I still feel this restless need to like, grief does comes in waves, and it's not like we ever get over, especially if it's really major grief. I don't feel the sense that it's like major grief for you guys, but you never know. But just in case for those of you here, if there is some really serious grief, this isn't saying like move past something and never grieve it again. This is saying like grief will always come back in cycles if it's really powerful grief. And so moving forward in life into a new chapter isn't letting go of the grief. It will revisit. It comes back. It's like waves. But that doesn't mean you can't still look forward and start moving towards something in your future, some change. And my sense is for most of you, it's not like heavy grief. And I definitely sense for most of you, you're looking for a way forward. Stuck in energy like you don't want to be stuck in. And so like kind of fighting to figure out that way forward. And this reading is saying like, yeah, you're right on that cusp. You're between here and there. And this eclipse season or eclipse portal we're walking into will bring that shift. It will bring something new for you to focus on and walk toward. So getting back to how your answer is very similar to pile 1 and 2 is that there's a divide. Some of you are getting a no. I think a lot of you might be getting a yes though, and it just depends on what you've asked. Anything having to do with trying to hold on to the past, which my sense is most of you are looking for change. So I would imagine very few people that came here are trying to hold on to the past. But if your question is trying to hold on to how things have been or how things were, then it's a no. Anything else is a yes. I almost feel like I could have just done one reading, like every pile has the same kind of there are variations to the stories coming out, but like ultimately the answers coming out the same, which is so bizarre. But yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Eclipse seasons are very, they hold some universal threads. So, the silver lining, even if you feel like you got a no because your question is something about like holding on to the past, it's like that Ace of Earth and Emperor coming through is just like so much potential, especially in the Earth realm with the Ace of Earth. Something materially holding new potential, new power, and some kind of new order, new structure to your life coming through here too. So there's positive energy in the outcome, even if you got a no. But my guess is most of you got a yes, just because of the 2 5s and that giving this feeling of like looking for change. I just feel like the majority of you did not come here trying to hold on to the past, but it's possible. Okay, let's get some oracle cards, messages from Spirit. I feel like there's 2 cards here. Nope, it's just thick. Okay. Amethyst and passion flower, violet flame, transmuting, breaking addictions, nervous system. Definitely picking up on that nervous system that I already talked about. Like there's, a little bit of tumultuous energy there, and it does have like a nervous energy to it. But you are in this between here and there space that I feel like you're sitting in. Things are being transmuted, and you are having realizations that could help you to break addictions or habits or just general rhythms in your life that haven't brought great results. Something is, it's like big epiphanies are coming through, helping you to transmute what it is that has you kind of stirred up, and what's giving this sense of like really needing change to come in. That is true. When I said that needing, that rings really true to me. You guys need change to come in. I don't know that all of you want change to come in, but you do need change to come in. And you are already, even if it's subconsciously, kind of working on this and transmuting some things to help you accept some change. Monkey, inner child, don't take life too seriously. I love this for you. I love this so much for you, and I think it's really beautiful advice coming through from Spirit. Get in touch with a more playful side of you. Visit some beautiful nostalgic memories from when you were a child and were engaged in some play that felt fun and beautiful. Something about connecting to that might help you to lighten up and to see certain pathways that have been hard for you to see, to move towards change or embrace change or accept that change is needed. It's like, something about playing and lightening up really helps you to have those epiphanies that are needed. Okay, let's get a healing water oracle card. The water carrier. It says, what really matters? Reflect, reprioritize. The 5 again, picking up here, reprioritize, change what actually matters. This came up in, I can't remember if it was my most recent Wednesday or Monday reading, but one of the piles had a lot to do with like, what are you spending your time on, and really coming into new, or more clear understanding of like what your priorities are and what your time is well spent on and what's worth your time, and something coming up here around that whatever's transmuting and whatever new start does unfold for you, it's really going to help you see that as well, like what is worth your time, what should be prioritized. Beautiful. Okay, to end the reading, we're going to get you guys a goddess message. And we have Iris, communication. Interesting. 5s can have a lot of energy of communication too, so I do feel like some of the tumultuous energy may be needed to help you kind of break out of something you're feeling caged by. And that mental energy, especially that's a little bit stirred up, is sort of like communicate with others. I think tell people how you're feeling. That's what's coming through here. It's like tell people how you're feeling. Really find some good listeners and people you trust to kind of confide in and reflect in, people who can mirror really well for you. Even just by putting intention and wants out into the world, it's moving something. Like our voice can really clear pathways for us. But also if you know, especially people who care about you, if you really confide in them, sometimes that leads to things you couldn't have created a connection to on your own, that creates maybe that opportunity for some new thing, that new, you know, because there is that energy of something new, new power, new potential coming through. And it's like maybe by communicating, you kind of create a chain reaction of like, you confided in maybe 3 people, and one of them, because of the things you told them, suddenly thought of something for you that would be interesting and made that connection, and that wouldn't have happened if you didn't communicate and express and reflect. And so, yeah, I think this is just beautiful advice coming through of like, whatever's happening, whatever is stirred up in your mind and your heart, like express it to people you trust and that care about you. I think that will help settle some of it, but also kind of move some energy. Okay, this is where I'm going to leave you guys. I hope this resonated for you. Just to reiterate, it is a yes for everyone, unless you asked about like holding on to how something was or has been, then that's a no, but everything else is a yes. And then, yeah, just some beautiful advice coming through about, yeah, kind of moving forward and towards some new, for anyone, no matter your answer, some new beginning coming in here. Okay, if this resonated, I always appreciate support with likes, shares, subscribes. Always grateful for kind and thoughtful comments, but just by being here, that is supporting my channel as well. So thank you, and thank you for letting me read for you. I love doing this, so it's even more beautiful you know, when this does provide insight for others as well. All right, so wishing you well with whatever you asked and going forward, and with whatever new start is coming in. And I will see you in future readings. Have a beautiful day wherever and whenever you are. Hello, Pile 4. Welcome to your yes, no, maybe reading. You guys picked the beautiful aquamarine, which we are just going to put to the side. So this week's yes, no, maybe, we are going to do some tarot to get your answer right out of the gate. And then we will do some oracle cards to get a little bit of guidance from spirit around whatever answer you got. Queen of Fire. Oops. Let's see. I'm going to take these 2. Ace of Air, Queen of Fire, Queen of Earth. Wow. Okay, let's get 2 more. Oh my goodness, these are falling everywhere. Take the top one here. King of Air. Look at all these court cards. 2 queens, a king, and an ace. What is going on? And then the High Priestess in reverse. Ooh, this is really, really needing to trust yourself. You have so much potential, power, fertility, command, authority, mastery within you, but you're not seeing it for some reason. So I feel like a lot of people that came here may be struggling to see a positive, like or I don't want to say C, having trouble believing that there's a yes here. But there really is. You need to tap into your intuition. Why are these so wonky and crooked? Yeah, I mean, you saw as I was shuffling, my cards were sort of falling out all over the place, and I feel like that's like some nervous energy that could be settled if you could like still your mind, still your body, really move inward to feel your question. It's like there's too much with that Ace of Air and King of Air, like maybe too much mental energy overlaying your question, making it hard for you to feel your question. But there is like a really beautiful yes here with the Ace of Air is for sure a yes. The two Queens, there's a lot of like just like nurturing, fertile energy. And then the King of Air is like some mental command. The other way this could play out with all of these court cards is there could be a lot of people meddling in your question for some reason, or a lot of like different expectations placed on you. But the thing to see here is ultimately with the Ace of Air, there is wings. There are wings to your question. There is a yes to your question. It's time to like trust, especially trusting your mind. Settling, like getting really calm and settled with your mind and like moving forward. But this is saying like maybe don't move forward until you can get still. You know, if this is a question where it's upon you to move forward, some questions that wouldn't make sense for. But if you have a question where it's sort of like, should or shouldn't I move forward with something? This is like, yes, but get calm first. Calm your mind, move inward, tap into your intuition, maybe do some like automatic writing. That really always gets us in touch with our intuition, just writing, free writing. That can help you move inward if you need help with that. And that can settle some mental energy, and then maybe a little bit of like breath work, or, you know, even just like a 5-minute guided meditation to just kind of calm your mind. But there is this energy of something taking flight, something new, or just powerful even. So there is a yes here. But if there's extra steps you need to take, or you need to have the initiative with something, like pause first. Find a way to get inward before you do that. Okay, let's get some messages from Spirit about this answer. Pneumite and Black Dahlia, the void, ego shattering, soul fragments, emptying. Interesting. That might be connected to the High Priestess in reverse, like really needing to, part of the need for you to go inward and connect to intuition is sort of like reconnecting with your soul and shedding certain ego armor that's made you that's overly protected yourself from vulnerability, because like vulnerability is needed right now. And that would make sense with all these queens and king of like in like the, I don't know, like fantasy and medieval times. I feel like, you know, these types of figures, kings and queens, really you know, they have guards and palaces, and they're like very protected from the outside world, but that can also gate them off from things. And I feel like that's what's being called for here, is like you need to get out into the world. Maybe like you're too gated off, you're too like your ego's too protected, and you need some ability in order to make connection to some new thing, new energy, some fertility waiting to come through. And that more vulnerable place is more tender, more connected to soul, able to kind of clear some energy. So yeah, just some advice from Spirit to kind of, part of that moving inward and getting in touch with soul is dropping some protection and armor to allow something new to come in. Chameleon, soul tribe, it's safe to be seen. Yeah, dropping the armor is big here. Dropping the armor. Reconnect with soul. Drop some, I don't want to phrase it as ego, even though it is, connected to ego, but the way the phrasing is making sense to me in this reading is like armor. There's armor that needs to be dropped in order to really connect to soul and fertility and new possibility. Okay, let's get a healing water oracle card. Clear waters, clear vision, confirmation, right timing, opportunity. Beautiful. Let's move these up. That's just really beautiful, positive confirmation around the yes we already got. Right timing really sticks out, as well as opportunity because of the Ace of Air, something new. So right timing and opportunity coming in here. Again, this feels like she's very connected inwardly. She has her eyes shut. She's turned inward. And that's more context around the advice of going inward is it will bring more clear vision as well to you. And your own confirmation as well. Yeah, really cool. Okay, last card, we're going to get a message from the goddess realm for you guys to leave you with. Love it. Bensai Jen, beauty. What can I say? That's a beautiful ending message. Whatever this new opportunity and right timing are about, connecting more to your soul and inwardly, it's like just some kind of beautiful outcome with your yes. Life feeling beautiful, something about your question feeling beautiful, you feeling beautiful, whatever makes sense to you, but there is, I don't know, this element of something feeling beautiful or being beautiful, whatever makes sense for your question. So that's really, really positive. Both of these clear waters and beauty gave like really extra positive confirmation on the yes that already came through. Right timing, opportunity, and something feeling, being, whatever, beautiful. All right. That's your answer. So yes, yes, yes. Okay, if this resonated, I always appreciate support with like, shares, and subscribes. Always grateful for kind and thoughtful comments. And I just super appreciate you being here. In general, that's in itself supportive of the channel. And I love reading for you guys, so thank you for letting me do so, and I hope this brought you some insight or clarity. If so, we already went over that. Like, share, subscribe. I'll just say it again. So I hope to see you in future readings, and have a beautiful day wherever and whenever you are.